So this week I've been thinking about something that's very odd and I haven't thought about a whole lot, but I was thinking about Jesus' disciples, and I was thinking about a few in particular that he called to himself. And the two that I've been thinking of are two that maybe don't always get the press. One is Levi. He's the tax collector, later named Matthew. And the other one was Simon the zealot. Not Simon Peter, is a different one. And let me tell you a little bit about both of their backstories. We don't know everything, but we know the people that they are connected to, okay? So Levi the tax collector, basically tax collectors in this culture, it was God's people, Israel, were living under the authority of Rome. Okay, so Rome were these pagan Gentiles, they've taken God's people, so they're ungodly, they don't follow the Lord. Number two, if you're a tax collector, what you do is you work for Rome, and the governor says, I need X amount of dollars per every person, and so whatever else you can get from them, you get to keep for yourself. So basically what happened, I need you to give me, for this community right here, I need you to collect $10,000 for us. And the tax collector would therefore go to that community and try to get as much as he could from them, 20, 30,000, and he would take the $10,000 to $20,000 difference in his pocket and give the 10 to the Roman government. So a tax collector kind of turned his back on God's people. A tax collector was probably pretty greedy. A tax collector loves Rome more than God. A tax collector is despised, he's a sinner. So this is one person. Now let's talk about Simon the Zealot. Simon the Zealot. A zealot is a religious right-wing type fanatic that oftentimes would use violence in order to get their way, okay? We use violence in the name of religion to overthrow Rome because religion's more important than Rome. And, just like we love to justify violence in our culture, it's the same sort of deal. And so we have Simon the Zealot that loves God so much that he's going to kill Roman soldiers, knife them in the back to be able to get justice. And then you have Levi the tax collector that kind of loves Rome and is a traitor to his people. And I look at this situation, I look at these people, they're literally polar opposites. One is a right-wing fanatic, one's a left-wing fanatic. You've totally abandoned your people. They're opposite voices, and they would politically hate each other. They would have hated their ideologies in their lives, but yet somehow they became friends, somehow they became brothers, somehow they laid aside their political differences, and somehow they began to actually work together for the exact same goal. How did this happen? And I want you to see today that when we recognize a greater kingdom than the one we're living for, when we recognize a greater purpose than the purpose that we are currently living for, our old kingdoms, our old purposes, our old gods begin to fade away. In light of God's kingdom, the world's kingdom becomes insignificant. In light of God's kingdom, the world's ways become fading. And so my challenge for you today is to look at the differences in these people, and when they were subjected to the Lord's kingdom and the Lord's ways, their differences became so small that they were able to work together for a common good. Will you love the Lord's kingdom today? Will you live for the Lord's kingdom today? And will you lay aside your earthly battles for God's battles?